It is July 1st, and today in Murder, we go over the case of the disturbing murder of 23-year-old Anneliese Michel, but you may know the story as the Exorcism of Emily Rose. On September 21st, 1952, Anna Elisabeth Michel was born in West Germany to a Roman Catholic family. Anneliese attended Mass twice a week with her mother Anna, father Joseph, and her three sisters. Around 1968, when Anneliese was 16 years old, she experienced a severe convulsion, which is a medical condition where the body muscles contract and relax rapidly and repeatedly, resulting in uncontrolled shaking. This led to Anneliese being diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy. As I stated, Anneliese was raised in a Roman Catholic household, later being described in university as, quote, withdrawn and very religious. Fast forward to 1970, Anneliese had suffered her third seizure in a psychiatric hospital she was staying in. She was prescribed anti-convulsion drugs, and throughout various times of the day, she described seeing, quote, devil faces. Anneliese was later prescribed medication used to treat disturbed behavior, delusions, and schizophrenia. By 1973, she was complaining about hearing voices telling her she was, quote, damned, and that she would rot in hell. Over the years, Anneliese grew frustrated with her medical treatment she was receiving and began to become intolerant to crucifixes, sacred objects, and holy places. Eventually, a family friend took Anneliese to a pilgrimage where they concluded that she must be demonically possessed, as Anneliese could not walk past a crucifix and refused to drink water out of a holy spring. At one point, Anneliese approached a shrine where she said the soil burned like fire and she simply could not stand it. Her family was convinced at the time that she was possessed and consulted several priests to request an exorcism, which they were denied. In the Catholic Church, official approval for an exorcism is granted when the subject strictly meets the set criteria and is considered to be suffering from possession and under demonic control. Anneliese's conditions worsened despite all medications and treatment, and she began to growl, throw things, and see demons. In September of 1975, Father Ernest Alt stated, Anneliese, quote, does not look like an epileptic, leading to Bishop Joseph Strangle granting an exorcism with the order of total secrecy. Her parents stopped consulting with doctors, relying solely on the exorcism rites. Anneliese took a total of 67 exorcism sessions, 1 or 2 each week, lasting up to 4 hours each. These were performed over approximately 10 months in 1975 and 1976. On July 1st, 1976, Anneliese Elisabeth Michel was dead. According to the autopsy, the cause of death was malnutrition and dehydration due to almost a year of starvation while the exorcism was being undertaken. Anneliese weighed just 66 pounds or 30 kilograms. Before death, she suffered from broken knees, she was unable to move without assistance, and reportedly had contracted pneumonia. Her death was ruled negligent homicide, and her parents Joseph and Anna were officially charged, as well as Ernst Alt and Arnold Rentz. Remember, Father Alt performed the exorcisms while Father Rentz declared Anneliese demonically possessed. The prosecutor for the case maintained that Anneliese's death could have been prevented all the way up until just 1 week before her official passing. Even with this, the state has recommended no one involved serve time in jail. It was recommended the priest be fined and the parents let be, as they, quote, had suffered enough. Doctors testified that Anneliese was not possessed, stating that the manifestations of demonic possession were a psychological effect of her strict religious upbringing as well as her epilepsy. Defense attorneys argued that the exorcism was legal, and within the German constitution, Citizens can exercise their religious beliefs unrestrictedly. During the trial, tapes were played from the exorcisms of claims of demons arguing. The demons reportedly possessing Anneliese were Adolf Hitler, Cain, Judas, Iscariot, Nero, and Lucifer. It was stated Anneliese Michel was freed from demonic possession just before her death as a result of the exorcism. The family and priests involved were convicted of negligent homicide but received no jail time. This case drew massive media attention and is a big part of why exorcisms are the last line of defense and often denied. This whole thing was almost certainly just mental illness misidentified, resulting in tragedy. Several years later, German bishops had tried to clean up their image and retracted the claim Michel was demonically possessed. In 2006, Anneliese's mother stated, quote, "I know we did the right thing because I saw the sign of Christ in her hands." In 2013, on June 6th, a fire broke out and engulfed the home where Anneliese had lived. Although the local police determined that this was a case of arson, some locals attributed the fire to the exorcism case. Was the murder of Anneliese Michel the result of demonic possession or of a mental illness that was misdiagnosed by an overly religious family? I guess now you know the details of the case. You can make your own decision based on your own belief. I'm your host, Dawson Toller. It is July 1st, and on Today in Murder, that was the exorcism of Anneliese Michel.